Hello darlings, it's nice to see you all again and thanks for joining me for today's video. I want to talk to you about how I save money and give you some ideas on how you can save money too. So whether you live in a van, a tiny house, sticks and bricks, wherever, whatever, it doesn't matter. These tips and ideas will help you save money in different ways. Now, I think it's important that you don't overspend. You live within your means, you create a budget, and you stick to that budget. So if you stick to those few rules, you will be fine. Now, it's important that we make our money work for us, especially in today's stone age, with the prices of everything going up all the time, but wages don't. So therefore, we need to make sacrifices so that we can survive. And because I get paid fortnightly, therefore I have a fortnightly budget. So whether you have if you get paid weekly, you'll have a weekly budget. If you get paid fortnightly, you'll have a fortnightly budget. If you get paid monthly, you'll have a monthly budget, and so on. And you need to work out your budget before you get paid so you can stay organized. And that's what I do. So my two biggest bills after I pay my rent are gas and groceries. And I think groceries is the biggest bill, or one of the biggest bills for everyone. So we need to make our money work for us. So what I do is, when I go shopping, I shop at discount stores, including Aldi's and Kmart. And that's what you need to do too. It's important to shop at discount stores. And I buy most of my groceries from Aldi. 85% of my groceries come from Aldi because they're cheap. However, I do buy some groceries from Coles and Woolworths because they do have some groceries that are cheaper than Aldi. So therefore, I'm going to buy those groceries that are cheaper at Coles and Woolworths. And what I do is I check out the discounts in the catalogues before I get paid. Oh, look who has joined us. Say hello, Kelly. Come on, baby. Come on. Come say hello to everyone. Come on. Come up here and come cuddle mommy. Come on, Bubby. Who's a good girl? Who's a pretty girl? Come on, Bubby. Come say hello. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Come up here with mommy. Come on. Good girl. Look who has come to say hello. Good girl. Don't you run away. Good girl. Who's a good girl? Come up here with mama. Come on. Come on, baby. No, off she goes. Off she goes. She's gone to play again. But at least she came to say hello. I was hoping she would come to say hello, to be honest. Okay, so getting back with I'm sorry, I just bumped the table. I didn't mean that. So 85% of my groceries come from Aldi's, and the other 15% that are cheaper than Aldi's I get from Coles or Woolworths. And I look for, every time I go into a store, I always look for the specials, and I always grab the specials. Like for example, last time when I was shopping in Aldi's. Oh my God, I can't believe I found this. And they had the large trays of chicken schnitzels. Now they're normally just under $10 a packet. And they had 4 trays there on special for $7.50. And you know what? I grabbed those 4 trays. And by doing that, I saved just under $10. I think it was $9 something I saved by buying those 4 trays of chicken that were on special. Because the reason why they were on special was because of the use by date. And that's fine. Because what I did as soon as I got them home, I just put them straight into the freezer. You see what I mean? So always buy the specials if you can, as well as home brands. I always buy the home brands because get lost. Oh my God, they've got a fly in it. Oh no, it's gone. Thank God for that. No flies are welcome in my van. Oh, so funny. And so I always buy the home brands because not only are they cheaper, but they are also the same quality as the expensive brand. And how I know that is because years ago when I was younger, I used to work at a factory where they used to make Blu-Loos. You know, those little round Blu-Loos things that you put in your toilet that clean the toilet. And it was my job to pack them. So they would come down on the conveyor belt, and I'd grab them off the belt, and we had 2 containers, one on the left side and one on the right side. And I just put them into both containers. Now, the container on the left side was packaged into the home brand packaging, whereas the container on the right-hand side, they were packaged into the expensive brand. But they were exactly the same. And that's when I realized, oh my God, the home brands are just the same as the expensive brands. And ever since then, I have been buying home brands ever since. So whether you're going to buy, like say, a cleaner or whatever, buy the home brands. Oh, look who's come back, Kelly! Oh, cheeky girl. She came back for a second or two. She loves checking up on me to make sure I'm still here. Oh, she's a beautiful girl. So, when you go shopping, shop at the discount stores, buy the specials, buy the home brand, buy the cheapest products you can get. So, like I do with shopping at Aldi's and the other supermarkets by buying 80% of my groceries at Aldi's, but the products that are cheaper than Aldi's, I'll get them at Coles or Woolworths. You see what I mean? And by doing that, you're making your money work for you and you're saving. And whatever money that you save by doing that, you can put that into a jar or a tin or some sort of container. And you can just put that aside and just keep saving that. And if you do that just after 1 year, you'll be surprised at how quickly it all adds up. And then you can use that money at the end of the year. You can put that towards your savings account, or you can put that towards your emergency fund, or whatever. You see what I mean? So that's another good idea. So by putting away the money, look who's back here. Hello, Bubby. Come on. Good girl. Good girl, baby. Good girl. Good girl. You like this air conditioner? Yeah, nice and cool. Pretty good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Good girl. And you need a brushy too, don't you? Who's a good girl? Come on, puppy with mommy. Come on. You're a good girl. Come on. Come say hello to everyone. Say hello, everyone. Hello. Now, she loves you, Simpson. I'm going to be telling for YouTube star. Aren't we, puppy? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. You go over there. No, you want to go out and play. Okay, just go back outside to play. She'll be back in a minute. Okay, so there are important ways to save money as well as saving the money that you save from saving money, if that makes sense. And other ways that I save money when I'm shopping is by shopping online as well as clearance and thrift stores. Like for example, I bought this mini air conditioner from Temu, and I got this on clearance for just $39. And oh my god, it works really well. It's perfect for van life. It's USB, and it even has a mist. It's got 3 different levels, and I'm telling you now, these mini air conditioners usually retail between about $60 or so. But I got it for nearly half price just by buying it on clearance. You see what I mean? And when I shop online, I usually shop at Temu, because Temu is usually the cheapest online store. So if you're going to shop online, look for the clearance, look for the sales, and definitely shop at Temu as well. And like when I first got my van, because I did not have the money to do a van build, so what I did was I bought most of my stuff for my van, including the furniture too, from IKEA as well as thrift stores. And I'm telling you, buying things at thrift stores, you get a lot of bargains there, and it's another great way to save money too. And another way that I saved money was by doing the van build myself, because I couldn't afford to pay for someone to do it, so therefore I had to do it myself. And I did not know how to convert a van. I didn't know how to build a van or anything. So I learned from watching YouTube videos. Where am I going? From watching YouTube videos, as well as remembering what I learned from woodwork at school. Now, if you did woodwork at school, you can convert a van. And I know if I can convert a van, you can too. So if you have a van, and if it needs to be converted, you want to turn it into a tiny home, get all the furniture and stuff you need from thrift stores and do it yourself. It's a great way to save money. It really is. Look who's come back. Hello, Bubby. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Say hello to everyone. Yes, you're a good girl. Yeah, he's a good girl. Yeah, you want to hop up here with Mommy? Come on, Bubby. Hop up here with Mommy. Come on. Yeah? No? Okay. You want to stay down there? Yeah, good girl. Come on, up. Off she goes. I tried to pick her up again, but no. She's too far. So there are other ways to save money. Now, I've taken some notes because I don't want to forget anything. So let's put on pause for a minute. Hello, Bubba. Look who's come back here. Okay, so you're going to save money by shopping online, shopping clearance sales. The money that you save, you can put that away and save more money. You can create your van yourself if you can do it. Buy all the stuff from your van at either IKEA or thrift stores. Okay, so I'm just going to have a look at some notes. Hello, pretty girl. Look who's here. Say hello. Give everyone a kiss. Good girl. Oh, just Kelly just gave everyone a kiss. You don't. Oh, Kelly. Sorry. Kelly knocked the table over. Just a girl. Yes, just put the thing up here. Okay, so other ways that I save money is by, I work out, before I go shopping, is I work out a budget meal plan. And what I do is I work out what I'm going to have for lunch, breakfast and dinner for the whole fortnight. I'm going to work out those meals. And when I go shopping, I'm only going to buy the ingredients for those meals, okay? And by doing that, I'm going to be saving a lot of money. Because you don't want to be you don't want to be wasting money on fridges and things that you don't need. That's why every time I go into a store, whether it's Aldi, Coles, whatever, I always have a shopping list, and I only buy what's on that shopping list. In that way, not only am I going to stay organised, but I'm also going to save money by not wasting money. You see what I mean? Okay, so another way that I save money is by doing the washing myself. When I have laundry to do, whether I'm at home or in my van, I don't go to any laundromat. By doing that, I'm saving money. So therefore, look, I have a Sphere EcoSpin manual washing machine, which I use both at home, in my apartment, as well as in my van. But now I also have a 12-volt portable foldable washing machine just for my van as well. And when either I'm at home in my apartment or in my van, I always do the washing by using those washing machines. From now on, what I'm going to do is use the EcoSpin manual washing machine in my apartment. That's just a small manual washing machine. It's just done by hand, and it's got a spin brush, so you turn the handle around this way to wash your clothes, and then you turn the handle in the opposite way and it's a spin dryer. How clever. And when I'm in my van from now on, I'm going to be using the 12-volt portable washing machine. And then after I do the spin dryer, I just hang them up in my van in my apartment. And that's how I do my washing. So I don't spend any money at laundromat. So by doing that, that's another way that I save money. So I suggest if you're living in a van, I think it's a good idea to get but I have a 12-volt portable foldable washing machine or an EcoSpin manual washing machine, so you can do your clothes in your van and just hang them up to dry. And by doing that, you save lots of money instead of going to the laundromat. So there's another idea for you. Okay, so another way that I save money is by keeping my tires full of air and the way that I drive my van. Because if you keep your tires full of air, you're going to use less gas. Therefore, you're going to save more money. But if your tires are half full, oh my God, you're going to be using a lot more gas. Therefore, you're going to be wasting a lot more money because you have to refill up your van again. Now, a little while ago, I was driving along, and I was only driving for a couple of hours or so, and I looked at my petrol tank gauge, and I'm like, oh my God, why am I going through so much gas? And what happened is that I didn't know that in one of my tires I had a hole, a small hole. And so that tire was going down, and because that tire was going down, I was using a lot of more gas quicker than what I should have been. So, I went from having a half a tank to having just over an empty tank in 2 hours. Now that is just from having one tire that's only half full of air. So therefore, you can imagine you can have 4 tires that are half full of air. You're going to be using a lot more gas quickly, and you don't want that. So you can save money by saving gas. You get what I'm saying? So make sure that all of your tires are always full of air. And also, drive your vehicle like an no-brainer, because by doing that you're going to be saving gas too. Because the faster you drive, the more fuel you're going to use. And so the way that you drive your vehicle is going to determine how much gas you're going to use or save. Like for example, when you come up towards the corner, you don't straight up towards the corner and you slam on your brakes and go around the corner like zoom around the corner and then, bare lift foot and put your foot on the cylinder and take off like a hooligan. Because by doing that, you're just wasting more gas. And therefore, that's going to cost you more money because you need to put more gas into your vehicle. And so my van is a 5-speed manual. So what I do is when I come up to a corner, I just push my van into neutral and I just roll up and I just gently brake and then I just casually go around the corner, and then as I take off, I just gradually and slowly look and come back here. Please come back to say hello. Don't knock that down, you naughty girl. No, good girl. No, you're not a naughty girl. You're a good girl, aren't you? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Where did she go? There she is. Say hello, Callie. Callie, say hello. Say hello, Bubby. Off she goes. I'll put you back up there. Off she's going to play. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. She will be back. She's such a beautiful baby girl. Yeah, so getting back to what I was saying, so I just gradually put my foot on the accelerator slowly and off I go. And so by driving my van that way like I know branding, I'm saving gas. So if you save gas, equals saving money. So that's another way how you can save money, but the way that you drive your vehicle and making sure that you have air in all of your tires. Okay, so another way that I save money is by staying in my van. Because the more I stay in my van, the less time I spend in my apartment. Meaning, I'm not in my apartment, I don't get to use the electricity bill. So therefore I'm saving money. Because my electricity bill doesn't go up because I'm inside my van. And I suggest that if you want to save money, or if you need to get out of debt, move into your van or whatever vehicle you have. Because how are you going to save money if you're spending that money on rent? Because most of our income goes to rent, as you know. And so if you move into your vehicle, whether it be a van, a truck camper, SUV, whatever, instead of spending that money on rent, you can save that money or get out of debt. And that brings me to the next thing that I want to talk about, is that if you have debt, you need to get out of that. So I suggest the first thing you do is get out of debt, and then you can work on it from there. And if you have a credit card, cut it up. I've never had a credit card. However, I am thinking about getting just one credit card for the future, just for emergencies, which is okay. So you can have, it's okay to have one credit card, which you can keep just for emergencies, as long as you don't use it for anything else. And that, because there will be times when, if you're doing van life, or even if you're not doing van life and you have a vehicle, you're still going to have emergencies. And this is where you need to have an emergency fund. And so maybe you do have an emergency fund, but maybe you don't have enough money in it. Or maybe you don't have an emergency fund yet. Either way, you're still going to experience emergencies sooner or later. And if you don't have an emergency fund, you're going to need to have a credit card for that. But make sure you don't use that credit card for anything else. You just keep it there for emergencies only. And that's what I was thinking about doing recently. So there's another idea for you. Or maybe, you want to save up for a deposit for a house. And there's no way you're going to be able to do that while you're paying rent. No way. Unless you have a high-paying job, and not everyone has high-paying jobs. So therefore, I suggest if you want to, save up, whether it's based for a deposit for a house, or just having a savings account, or whatever, my advice is to move into your vehicle or your van. And use the money that you would have paid for, use that rent money and put that away for your savings or your house deposit or whatever. You might have to live in your van for, 3 or 5 years or whatever before you can save up, but that's okay. Because you will get there eventually, and I can still tell it's there on my face, and it's very itchy. So yeah, van life is way cheaper than living in a single house, whether you own it or whether you are renting. So if you want to save money, move into your van. And by me staying in my van, I'm saved, even though I still have an apartment, but I'm paying very cheap rent. So I'm lucky that there's not I'm telling you now, here in Australia, we have a housing crisis. It's like the rest of the world is having because there's no affordable housing. And there's only a fraction of affordable housing available. And that's I'm really lucky to be able to have affordable housing. And the only reason why I got affordable housing is because of the domestic violence services. So I have the family domestic violence services to thank for that. Because if it wasn't for them, I would be living in my van permanently. However, I am planning on moving into my van permanently. Look, he's come back to say hello. Hello, Papa. Get it, I want to kiss you. Good girl. Who's a good girl? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Who's a good girl? Mommy loves you too. Yes, Mommy loves you too, beautiful baby. Who's a pretty baby? You're losing your fur again, aren't you? You're the star of the show, aren't you? Aren't you? Yes, you are. Off she's gone. Off she's gone again. Don't worry, she will be back to say hello again. So even though I have my apartment, as soon as I finish doing this thing, which is almost done, then I'm going to be moving into my van full time, as I can say, woohoo, van life, here we go. So yeah, living in your van is another way to save money. Okay, so another way to save money, if you're living in Auschwitz and Brooks, this will apply to you, is don't waste electricity or gas. Well, it's common sense, isn't it? I mean, if you're in a room, if you've walked out of a room, turn the light off. If you're not in that room, don't leave the lights on. Don't turn the heater on if you don't need to. Even if it gets cool, instead of turning the heater on, put a cardigan or an extra top on. Just these little things like that can make a big difference. For example, don't leave appliances essentially, the plugs, because even though you're not using it, if it still plugs into the switch, and if that switch is still on, it doesn't matter whether you're using it or not, because if you're not using it, you're still being charged for power. So as soon as you finish using any appliances, turn off the switch and unplug the appliance immediately. Because by doing that, you'll be saving money. And another thing you can do is that you are allowed to change energy services if you want to or if you need to. You can go to another energy supplier that are cheaper. You can go to a cheaper plan if you have to. And by doing that, that's another way how you can save money. Okay. So, if we have the internet on and your phone, sorry, I bumped the table. That was my fault this time. I can't blame Kelly. She's not in the van. I was the one who bumped the table. So if you have the internet on and you have a phone, okay, so what's your usage? So what you do is you check your monthly usage over a 12-month period and find a cheaper plan that suits you. Okay, so another way to save money is when you're shopping, especially for groceries, is to buy in bulk if you can. Now, if you're living in a vehicle or a van, you may not be able to do that because there's not a lot of space in a vehicle. However, because my van is quite large, so I'm lucky, so I'm able to stock up on non-perishable foods including rice, polenta, pasta, tinned food, tinned vegetables, tinned fruit, etc. And then what I do is I just buy the fresh ingredients when I need to. And I also forgot to mention that farmers markets are also another good place to buy groceries from that are really cheap, they're organic, they're fresh, they're better than the produce in supermarkets. So if you can buy your produce from farmers markets, I suggest you do that too. Hello to everyone. Give a kissy. Good girl. Good girl. Who's a good girl? Mommy loves you too. You're always a good girl. You want to build your cheap star? Yes, you do. Good girl. Good girl. You're a good girl. Yeah. Mommy gotta tell you. Mommy's gotta tell you. Who's a good girl? I'm gonna help Mommy work on the van later. Yeah, I'm gonna get the van ready for the road. Good girl, I see. Off she goes. Off she goes again. She'll be back. So, it's important to document all your spending and everything. So you need to have a notebook or a notepad just for your expenses, and you write down everything that you buy. You use your notepad for planning for the future because it's important to plan for future budgets and so on. And that's what I do. And so it's important to have a saving plan. And you're going to keep all of your information in this notepad or notebook, whatever you want to use, So you're going to have in there your bills, your expenses, your budget plan, etc. Everything that you need, as well as receipts, everything will be in this notepad. Okay, good. Who's a coffee lover? Me, I am. However, I don't drink coffee much nowadays. But when I was younger, oh my God, I used to live on coffee. I used to have about 10 to 12 cups of coffee every day. I would always buy a cup of coffee when I went down the street. When I went past the cafe, I couldn't go past the cafe without buying a cup of coffee. This was before I got married, of course. And I think because I don't drink much coffee, I don't want coffee anymore. That's what I think. And I couldn't start my day without having a cup of coffee in the morning. But there are lots of people out there who enjoy coffee. Now, if you're one of those people who enjoy coffee, you're going to need to put coffee into your budget too. And instead of going to the cafes or McDonald's or 7-Eleven or wherever to buy a coffee, to save money, I suggest you make your own coffee and take it with you. You go to the supermarket and you buy a large container of coffee. Look at the prices, compare the prices, of course, because you want the best value for money. And then you make your own coffee. And then if you have to go out somewhere, you can take the coffee with you. So if you're a coffee lover, make sure you include your coffee in your budget too. Okay, so sorry, I bumped the table again. So, if you don't want to use a notepad for your budgeting expenses, you can use an app. There are lots of apps available that you can use. So there's another idea for you. Now, it's also important to try not to spend money. And I know sometimes that's easier said than done. Well, it is for me anyway. And so what you do is, instead of going to the cinema to watch a movie, watch a video at home. Or instead of going out to a restaurant for dinner, cook a gourmet recipe at home. You can still do things. It's just instead of going out spending money, we're just going to be doing the same thing, but in different ways to save money, Like, for example, instead of going to a restaurant to save money, but you still want to go out and eat, have a picnic. And take a cat lunch or something. There's so many ideas you can do. And what you do is you can Google different ways how to save money, because the more information you have, and you can also Google different ways that you can do things differently to save money, like instead of going to the cinema or the restaurant, you can cook at home, or just a meal at home, or go for a picnic, or, go to a friend's house for dinner, or whatever. It's up to you to use your imagination. Okay, so instead of spending money on clothes, what you do is go shopping for clothes at the store. Or if you want new clothes, buy them from Temu. On clearance and stuff, so you can get them really cheap. Like you can get a brand new pair of leggings from Temu for just $6 or $8, And what you do is you keep your clothes, and instead of throwing them out when they're getting worn or whatever, you mend them yourself and you recycle. And recycling is another great way to save money. So thrift stores are great for shopping. You can buy anything from there. You can get a lot of bargains at thrift stores. You can get furniture, clothes, appliances, antiques. On my apartment, I've got my apartment full of antiques. I got all these bargains from the thrift store. You see what I mean? Okay, so the other thing that I want to mention about how to save money is also by embracing deals, use coupons, use the way that there's notes, you can get freebies, so take advantage of them too. And another thing that you can do is maybe you could do like a side hustle, or DoorDash or something, But there's all these things that you can do where you can make extra money on the side which will help. And that extra money that you earn, you can put that away into your savings too. Like for example, every time you save money with your shopping, and then, like I said earlier, put that away in a jar or somewhere, and you keep adding to it with more money that you save. Even, it doesn't matter, even if it's just $5 or $10, every time you go shopping. I mean, after a year, you're going to have a decent amount. I mean, you can imagine, how much money you're going to have like after 3 or 5 years, And if you get some extra income, like from doing DoorDash or a side hustle or whatever, you can put that money add that to the money that you're saving from, the money that you've used from saving, the money that you put away. Because it all adds up. And you'll be surprised at how quickly it adds up. Now, just before I finish, how long? 46 minutes over. Oh well, that wasn't expecting it to go this long, but we'll finish it up now. Now, just before I go, I just wanted to say that a lot of our expenses are the result of habit rather than conscious choices. So if we can change our habits, and change the way that we do things, or maybe change the way where we shop, for example, from instead of maybe we might shop at, say, for example, like Miles or some expensive store, and maybe you've been shopping there for a long time, and maybe you've had a life-changing experience, like a divorce or an illness or something, something that has created this financial difficulty for you, where you can no longer afford to shop at Mars, for example. So now you're going to have to change that by shopping at some sort of discount store like Kmart or an online store like Temu or whatever. But that's okay, because you have to go where your pocket is, don't you? And so therefore, if we can make changing our habits, even just small changes can make such a big difference to our overall spending habits. And that's what we need to do. And that's what I need to do too. And that's what I'm working on. So I'm going to end this video here. So let's just quickly have a summary. So ways that you're going to save money is by having a meal plan, food prepping, shopping at discount stores, farmers markets, etc. Changing our habits. Shopping at thrift stores. If you buy a van, moving to a van instead of paying rent. And By doing that, you can save money, get out of debt. So if you want to get out of debt, or if you want to save for a house deposit, move into your vehicle and save up while you're living in your vehicle. Try not to spend money. Instead of going to the cinema, have a movie night at home. Instead of going to a restaurant, cook a gourmet meal at home. Or go for a picnic, or go have dinner at a friend's house. There's so many things you can do. Just do a lot to your imagination and Google different ways how you can save money. So the more you learn, the more information you have, the better. Don't leave the lights on at home. Don't turn on the heater if you don't need to. Put a jumper on instead of turning on the heater. Just things like that can make a big, big difference, okay? Well, I'm going to wrap up this video now.